Buzzsaw, what's happening, buddy?
Hey,
Back
Jared.
to talk some tax updates on the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
That's right.
All right, a lot of action going on. So I'm going to date this. This is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, right? Wednesday, July 2nd. So just a quick update. We're going to keep this short. If you guys haven't listened to previous videos, Buzzsaw and Bill out of, shot or myself and Buzzsaw or Ryan have shot, go back and listen to those because we go a little bit more in depth on kind of what's in this bill. And then once this thing's finalized, again, TBD when that's going to be, we will release more content on exactly what is in there, right? It's a lot of speculation now, but um, basically, let's just talk through an update, Ryan. Yesterday, Tuesday, July 1st, this was voted on in the Senate. Kind of looks like an all night, Monday night into Tuesday vote-a-rama, I think, or they like read the bill out loud, but trying to delay this as long as possible. But looks like they passed it with a slight major or slight 51 to 50, right? Had to bring in the vice president to get this
Exactly.
done.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
So, Jeff, by the skin of its teeth, it got passed, and now we're on to the next phase.
Yeah. So basically, how it works is the House passed it, Senate revised it a little bit. You talked about those revisions. So now it's back to the House. So my understanding is today they're going to introduce this bill. I just read, and what you read on the internet may or may not be true, right? But I just read they're going to try to vote on this thing at the latest tomorrow, which is Thursday. The question is, do they have the votes or not? Right? That's really the question. So I don't know if you've seen anything, Ryan. I mean, it's a 50-50 coin flip, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Not sure at the moment.
Yeah. So if they can get it voted on tomorrow and agree to what the Senate changes are, then it would, if President Trump had his way, he would be signing this bill Friday, July 4th. Not sure if that's going to happen or not, but we just want to give you guys a quick update, kind of where it's at, right? House is talking about it today. Try to get a vote and then go to the president and see what happens. But I thought we could just real quick buzzsaw. I'm going to call them the big four, kind of hit on the big four things that you guys have hit on. Um, and if anything changed since the last video when the Senate dropped their text, but basically bonus depreciation, it's back, it's permanent. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. So they've brought bonus depreciation back at 100%, and it was for 5 years, but now it's permanent in the Senate's version of the bill. So as long as the House agrees to that, that's what it'll be going forward.
Yep. So if it's signed, that is back. R&D expensing, we've talked through that. No changes from what the Senate's original text is. That's back permanent.
Yeah, that's back. It's permanent, and there's also a feature to go fix the 3 years where you had to amortize as long as you're a small taxpayer, under 31 million in revenue. So it looks like you can do a change in accounting, an amendment, and basically
Yeah.
catch up all the amortization that you missed.
Yeah, which is a big deal for a lot of our dental clients that took the R&D, utilize that R&D credit. PTE, you guys hit on that in the last video, but any changes from the Senate's version they just passed yesterday?
Yeah, one small change. So in the original Senate version, they were going to cap PTE at 40,000. Basically, you could pay your pass-through entity tax, but you couldn't deduct it all if you were paying more than 40. But now they've kind of taken that out, and it's basically status quo how it has been. So if you're paying pass-through entity tax, you can deduct all of it.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good little change there. That was in the past version of the Senate. And then the SALT, right? State and local taxes. That's the last part of the big four. Hit on what changed from the original Senate text.
Yeah, so the Senate originally had scrapped the increase up to 40 and kept it at 10. They're kind of using that as a negotiation tactic. But what they've done now is they've brought it back up to 40,000. It's for 5 years. But that is back up to 40,000 just in a temporary capacity.
Seems like that's like the biggest thing that the House and Senate are just kind of
It
using
is.
as a negotiation tactic and going back and forth. So I would be curious what the House's response is to that.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
they agree to it? Do they try to adjust that and get it to a longer period of time or what? But everything I read, it's SALT is kind of the big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the biggest sticking point.
Okay. So guys, just want to shoot a quick update where that's at. Again, when I say 100% depreciation's back, it's back in this past version of the Senate. This has to go to the president's desk to get signed before anything's back, right? But we'll keep our ears to the ground or or eyes peeled to the internet on, do they vote on this thing? And or do they have issues that they have to reconcile again? So we'll see. I mean, if you're a bet, now I won't put you on the spot. I was going to ask you if you're a betting guy, Ryan, does this get passed or not? But let's not even speculate. Let's just see what happens. How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
All
We
right.
got a couple days for their deadline. We'll see if they can get it done by the 4th.
I do know there will be fireworks in America on July 4th. So that's what I'll
Yeah,
bet on, right?
yeah,
All
exactly,
right, buddy. Well, I
exactly.
appreciate it. We'll be back on here to shoot more updates as we get updates on our side. But Buzzsaw, as always, buddy, appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks,
All right,
Jared.
see you, man.